Yeah, should have enough space still left on the old hardened drive. Probably. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Got to go clean up a lot of very large VODs right now is the problem, of course. Anyway, regular run until people are into the stream, and then switching right over to back to the sickle runs. Yeah. In all likelihood, end up doing just the entire thing over again because, I don't know, it wasn't all that great of a start last time or anything. Could also be worthwhile to just try out, the sickle and, get to work with that too to begin with. And there we are. Excellent. I mean, I guess not all that excellent, but considering that this is going to be a run ending fairly quickly, but, for right now, I'm fairly happy with being able to continue to get all the parries that I could possibly need in the entire world. All right. Yeah, it's like I'm not even going to be doing anything with this run. Why am I even bothering? Do I have poison? Yeah, I have poison enemies that hurt me. Okay, whatever. Not that really makes too much of a difference, but that's good to know. All right. Maybe I should just go and start up the episode. Yeah, you know what? Let's just do that instead. Because it's just like everybody's already seen the start of this episode already. It's just like I can just, go back and do the exact same thing while people have yet to get in here. That way nobody will know. Nobody will know that it's a redo of the episodes here. Yes, perfect. Flawless sort of logic that I have going on here. All right, let's start up the recording, and then let's start this in 5, 4, 3, 2. Wait, no. I'm gonna turn up the music on the sound on the game a little bit, just because it's like had it quieter for Isaac last night. Anyway, yeah, it should be good. Okay, now let's start this up in 5, 4, 3, 2. The final weapon showcase of the DLC, the Scarecrow Sickles, are one that I probably should have done like 2 months ago. Yeah, I know, it maybe has been quite some time, but this has also been something of a difficult weapon to use. I've had people describe it as something of a janky aura of laceration, where it will do damage to enemies and kind of follows you around that same way. But if you stand still, eventually the sickles will just come back to you unless they won't. I wonder if I can get this working for myself right now. Okay, there we go. Anyway, let's try that again. Top 3 daily challenge? Unfortunately, that's not going to appear in the video. But let me see real quick. You broke it? It doesn't matter. It's not like I was going to be able to get too much usage out of that right now. Butterfly. Actually, you're number 4, as it turns out. Good try, though. Nice attempt. But you should know. I don't know. It's hard. I've never gotten into like top 10 before. That's difficult to do. Anyway, okay, let's try that one again here. All right, starting up in 5, 4, 3, 2. How am I doing this? It's purple dot bugs. Wait, which purple dot? There shouldn't be any purple dot around here. Oh, wait, the one on the current settings things. Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's been appearing there, like, for a while now. It's like, if I try, like, changing it and rechanging it back, will that fix it? I don't know. All right, I'll start it again. Nope, it's still there. Strange. It's a transparent section of the art. You know what? It probably is, because that's definitely like a color key type of color that you would be using there. A key color. Is that? Yeah, you would just call it a key color, right? Well, anyway, okay, let's start this in 5, 4, 3, 2. The final weapon of the DLC showcases, the Scarecrow Sickle, is one that I probably should have done, like, I don't know, 2 months ago or so. But hey, you know, Binding of Isaac and all that. Well, anyway, it is a weapon that follows you around, sort of in the same way that it does for the boss that you get it from. And it does increasing amounts of damage as it hits enemies over time. Try that again. As always, still very persnickety about how to do these episodes, as you know, if you've watched any of them. Ever. Really. All right. Stop it. Start it. Look, the stream is less than like 5 minutes started up now, so we can do a few tries here before anybody even knows that I went online. Very clandestine about it, as you know. Of course. Don't want anybody to watch these streams. For good reason. All right. Start this up again in 5, 4, 3, 2. The last of the new DLC showcase weapons, the Scarecrow Sickles, are a pair of sickles that kind of fly around in the same way that they do with the boss that you get them from, doing increasing amounts of damage as they hit enemies. It is an interesting weapon, but one that is somewhat difficult to use. Although messing around a little bit before I started up the stream, I did figure out that apparently you can just dodge roll right through them to get them to continue going on. Because if you stand still, eventually, if you don't get them in an infinite loop, they will just come right back to you and go on cooldown. It's a weapon that, if you play it correctly, I guess could conceivably be out forever, constantly doing damage. But that's, in practice, a little bit more difficult than you think you would expect it to be. Although, for some reason, whenever I seem to use these sickles, they just kind of get in an infinite loop as long as I'm standing still. But that's neither... do that again. I don't know if I missed a tweet. Feel like watching the stream right now, and behold, not 20 seconds later. I mean, yeah, but the problem though is that we're doing endless intros, so you might as well come back in the next hour or so. Because, you know, that whole thing where I do intros over and over. You know, that's how it is. All right, let's start this up in 5, 4, 3, 2. The final showcase of the new weapons of the DLC, even though it's about 2 months out at this point. Look, Binding of Isaac and all that. Scarecrow Sickles move around in the same way that they do as the same attack from the boss. Damn it. No pressure, just let the commentary flow. But yeah, but it's like, I feel like, you know, a lot of people complain about the Dead Cells episodes and, well, any content that I do is being overly wordy. More specifically, the Dead Cells episodes, because that's how anybody actually watches. So it's like, I feel like I have to make it very tight and simple at the beginning to at least try to alleviate some of those complaints. Because then it's like, all you gotta do is watch the first minute of the episode to get what the weapons are. And then it doesn't matter for everything else. I can't please everyone, but I have to. You don't understand. What's the point? Yeah, but I need to try at the very least. I'm a scarecrow, baby. Must be perfect or it's literally unwatchable. I mean, it's literally unwatchable regardless of what I do. Because I don't look around. Because I don't look around for challenge rifts everywhere and sell all the items that I possibly can. Doc, just relax and say what you want. Well, what I want to say is, I want to have a good intro. That's what I want. You say that as if, like, I'm beholden to some sort of dark master that forces me to do these episodes over and over. No, I am the one that knocks and all that. You don't shoot every single poop, therefore unwatchable. Oh, man. I'm going to be starting up, like, the Isaac, like, proper episodes again, now that I feel like I'm back in the swing of things with the game. I'm fully expecting a lot of comments like that, if anybody actually watches that, because, again, it's not Dead Cell, so people aren't going to watch it. As you do. All right, let's start this up in 5, 4, 3, 2. The final showcase of the new DLC weapons, the Scarecrow Sickle, works basically the same way that it does from the attack from the actual boss, but it also will follow you... Oh, man, I tell you. Too difficult. Why is everybody ellipsing and one that's 4 dots for some reason? Did y'all turn into a JRPG in the last couple seconds? Looking at you, Persona. I did a count where it's just like you... In at least one of the episodes, maybe like 20 episodes ago, and there were like literally at least 1 ellipses per minute. Like 2 ellipses a minute, actually. Throughout the entire episode. Like a half hour long, you got minimum 60 plus ellipses. Of course, it's like I can't hardly complain too much about that because it also appeared in like Final Fantasy VI as well as a number of other games that I played. And it's just like, I guess that's just kind of how it is in Japanese. A lot of ellipses. I honestly don't know why. All right. Well, at least there's no pressure from the chat anymore, if nothing else. Okay, let's start this up in 5, 4, 3, 2. You don't got anything else to use those points on after all anyway. But it's not worth it, isn't it? What else are you going to be using those points on? Like, I mean, there's not really too much else that I've been doing as of late. Gambling? Yeah, but it's like, then what are you going to do once you win? Think about that. One day to get 1 million? Yeah, but it's like, you know that's going to come at the end of like a 35 game list at the same time. And then it's just like, you know, you might as well just wait for me to get through the entire list and just lower the amount of points. Also, okay, here's a question. If you got 1 million points right now, what game would you force me to play? Like, what would be the one that you'd want to see right now? Hoonie Pop, I have never even played Hoonie Pop, and Hoonie Pop is supposed to be the 50,000 sub reward goal, whatever you'd call it. Yeek, but Y2K, it doesn't look very good. Why would you want me to play that? Really does not, you know. Original goal was ActRaiser. Yeah, I played ActRaiser up to the final boss where, you know, you have to fight all of the bosses in a row. I wasn't able to get past that because, Cyberpunk 2077. It's like, again, it would just kind of turn out like Ghost of Tsushima, except, you know, a lot more unpolished. Friday Night Funkin' Week 7. Just Week 7. The one with the tank guy. Well, that would take like 1 episode to do, so I guess that would be pretty easy. Like, you get a disc and you don't install any updates. Why would you want that, though? It's just like, that would just crash more often than not. Like, it wouldn't even be funny. It would just crash a lot. Also, I would get super bored with the game, like, within 2 hours. At first, I would probably be like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then I'd just be like, oh, okay, come on, let's move along the storyline already. When's Kino going to get here? Of course, I know exactly when Kino gets there in the game. It's like I've watched other people play it. And then I got bored with it and stopped. Doom Eternal is on the list. But that's, one that I'm going to do on stream eventually. All right. Hey, do you give any money to the Kickstarter? I like seeing that it's just like, damn, that game has really made a splash somehow, despite the fact that it's a love letter to old Flash games of the early 2000s. Early mid-2000s. Strange confluence of events. All right. Okay, let's start this up in 5, 4, 3, 2. The last showcase item, the new DLC, coming only 2 months or so late, are the Scarecrow Sickles. Work basically in the same way as the attack from the boss that they get their name from. Kind of follow you around, dealing increasing amounts of damage as they hit enemies until they finally get back to the main character. Sometimes just deciding to stay out indefinitely anyway, but never at a point in time where I actually want them to do that. It's a very interesting type of weapon. I've had people describe it as sort of a janky version of the lacerating aura, where it's like you got to get really close to enemies, but then you also have to focus on dodging around the sickles to really maximize their DPS. And as I did find out prior to doing the stream, you can just dodge roll to make sure that you don't accidentally catch it when you don't want to, but that does also mean that now you do need to try and mix using your dodge roll for, well, dodging, but then also trying to get it to work with the weapon itself. Sort of like how you would do with the rapier, for example, or trying to work with any one of the backpack mutations. It's like you want to be able to use it for attacking and defending, and that's not always the easiest of things. Certainly, I think the number one thing I'm going to run into with the sickle here is attempting to, keep them out for too long, and then just getting hit over and over because my dodge is on cooldown. So this might be one of those runs where I really want to focus a little bit more on survival, going through routes where I have some food shops, everything like that, rather than purely on DPS or even just trying to go to some places that I haven't done for a little while. For example, in the last stream, trying to go into the sewers and having that be just awful. Let me tell you, the toxic miasmas do not work very well with this weapon, what with their whole, explosion when you get near them. Now, the other thing, of course, is that I don't really think there's too much when it comes to strategy when I'm using this, which is kind of, aside from getting on a pretty flat surface so that I can kind of just dodge back and forth rather than, focusing on going around in a circle, which is a little bit more difficult to do than, left, right, until whatever I happen to be fighting is dead. It's just like there's also the whole worry that I'm not really going to be getting too much DPS out of these weapons. Gimmicky, which is fun. I do like that. But as you remember with Serenade, the big issue that eventually came up was that it's like, why use the Serenade when you can just use a regular old weapon that will do just as much, if not more, DPS, and then you can just forego all of the weird gimmickry that happens to be going on here. And I do think that as much as I like the idea behind this one, there's a good chance that the same thing is going to happen here. Unless I can just stand still and continuously over and over dodge these things as what seems to keep happening, like I said, when it doesn't actually matter. I don't know. Yeah, the increasing damage makes me think more about the Death Orb. And I mean, the Death Orb certainly, it works similar, but, this technically could be kept out for even longer, getting even more DPS. It's just the dance you have to do makes it that somewhat difficult. I'm hoping that the DPS is going to turn out to be absolutely stellar to really justify the weird mechanics, but I don't know. It's like, am I sure that I really want this over like a Crusher, for example, which all I got to do is set that on the ground. It slows enemies, deals a lot of damage. Infinitely easier to use. Also, man, I am so glad to see that. Oh, well, I am really just going to, like I said, try and get some sort of survival, go a route that gives me a lot of extra health so that when my dodging around fails me and I do happen to get hit, all is not lost, and not go into the sewers. We're not going to go into the sewers. The sewers are just going to lead to my death. A lot of like horizontal areas. It's so easy to just back and forth and back and forth. And you don't even got to worry about, like, the really tricky dodging in that way. Stuff like hitting up the Sepulchre and the like. Arboretum, I think, could be justified. Same thing with the Promenade, but we've seen the Promenade a whole lot lately. Let's do something at least slightly more interesting. I don't know. If anybody has any hot tips they want to give me... You know what? Instead of taking Gastronomy, which was the original plan, let's just go with Necromancy. Because that's very consistent healing, at the very least. But yeah, if anybody has any hot tips for using this weapon, it's like, aside from you can dodge roll through it to avoid picking them back up, it's like, I got nothing. What is this outfit? Oh, I think it's the homunculus one that you get from the DLC. I don't know if I've ever actually used it before. Yeah, one of the things I still do really like about the custom mode now is that you can switch back and forth between the outfits in every single area. Makes it much easier to choose, like, to have something new on every single run than having to use the same Timekeeper outfit, which I always seem to random into, I swear, every single time I choose a random outfit, at least prior to this point. It was a common look for the main character of Dead Cells for whatever reason. Bam, bam. It's not bad, and I do think that, yeah, just like the whole dodge right around in here, pretty easy to like get around elites and everything, while also making sure that like I'm not moving too far to sort of unbalance the sickles by having the roll stopped against the wall. And again, this is what I'm looking for, but it never happens when I want it to. Never when enemies are actually around for it to work. It's like, there's certainly something to be said about this. I like it as a very skill-based weapon. It kind of falls into the same sort of category as the old versions of, say, it's like the old versions of the Valmont's Whip or something like that. Similarly, Nerves of Steel, where it just depends on how well you can play as to how effective the weapon could potentially be over the course of a run. And I'm hoping that the damage is really gonna, like I said, justify the sort of wacky stuff that you gotta do to make this work. But I mean, as you know, it's like even with like a 4 times damage modifier back in the day with the Valmont's Whip, more often than not, I did not like using it. It was just too hard to actually get that critical. These days it's a lot better, but I mean, same thing with Nerves of Steel, where it's like, good damage, not enough ammo. As soon as they changed that up, it just became, fortunately, kind of unusable in my eyes. Here, it's like all I gotta do is worry about accidentally catching this in the wrong time and having to wait like 10 seconds for it to be on cooldown, or be off cooldown. But if I can play it well, that's not going to be a big deal after all. Could also go double freeze shields for this run if I want to fully meme it up. I don't know. Can we get some gambling going on? I mean, do you really got to ask me about that? I feel like you guys are going to do that anyway. Ah! I swear, this is... How are we all missing each other this much? Ridiculous. I mean, certainly I am definitely going to throw this in the backpack. If I'm already going to be, like, rolling around an awful lot just trying to use this weapon, I might as well go for, like, the armadillo pack and everything. Yeah, free shield in the backpack. That is exactly what I was just... That's exactly what I was just thinking. I saw the comment there. Like, nope. Got the same strategy here. There we go. It's not easy, but I do think that, like, weapons that really require some... Okay, come on now. This is what I was talking about with taking the necromancy. At least now I can be assured that I'll get back up to 50% health. Provided I don't completely wang this whole sequence. You good? Nah, could be better. Anyway, let's go get that damn thing already. I do like weapons that require some skill and weirdness to use. I mean, even the weapon that I am currently using right now, the Rhythm and Bazooki, it's just like does require some good timing to get the critical out with this thing. It's honestly one of my favorite survival weapons, just because it's like you can get some amazing damage out of this thing, huge range, and all you gotta do is make sure that you keep that rhythm up. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not super good at it, but I can at least do it well enough to not die. Take out enemies before they're dealing too much damage to me. Try and get ice shards to slow the enemies? Also wouldn't be a bad idea. Anything that's going to make dodging easier, I think, is probably a good idea. Not even just like ice shards, but of course I was talking about Crusher earlier. Would help a lot. Ice grenade, potentially. Ice armor, but ice armor doesn't really provide too much in terms of offense, and I do want to make sure that it's like I'm not just going to go fully defensive and rely entirely on the sickles for damage, because I feel like that would be a mistake. It still has like a 10-second cooldown, which is it's not the worst. Decently hefty in the World of Dead Cells, though. It's like I don't know if it's enough that I would want to. Oh, okay. Enough to get me nice and hit by the runner there. Good stuff. Come on. There we go. I hate the combos that these enemies are throwing out here. And then, of course, oh my god, just run at me. The fact that you have to stop to get the electric stuff out is so frustrating. Although ice crossbow, it's like, yeah, this could also be the sort of thing that I'm looking for right now. Certainly I'm doing a survival run, but I don't need to have both hands free and all that. So, you know, slow down, focus on just like outranging enemies rather than just focusing on outranging enemies rather than just trying to dodge around them. There's a justification to be made here. We'll see. I need both hands free to operate my sickles. Like, I don't know if you tried to operate a sickle before. I certainly haven't, because sickles as well as scythes seem like the sort of thing that would be very tedious and difficult to use in actual practice, right? Hey, any farmers in chat can tell me how they use, you know, if you don't like using threshers, tell me how. This is all too very, very specific. Explosive crossbow could also be fun. Still get like the melee and everything. Although it could also always go sickles and scythes, man. I don't know. Effective against every type of weaponry as, yeah. As the, well, what's the game I'm trying to reference here? Whatever. I can't remember now. It was one of the Department Heaven games. Gilcasa used scythes, which was the worst. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Whatever. I do own a farming scythe, a genuine farming one. How easy is it to mow with that? I gotta know. And that's not a sickle, you're saying. It is a proper scythe. Like, it just, It strikes me as a type of implement. Scuffed commentary. Whatever. Look, I'll remember the game eventually. I was planning to, at one point in time actually, that's good to see. I'm probably going to end up using it before I get back to 50% health, unfortunately. Just make sure that I don't die. Yep. I mean, scuffed commentary. Look, after we get past the first couple minutes of the basic explanation of stuff, we don't need to reset past that point. That's what I say. Good and good. Thank you for... I mean, I do also just, more than anything else, maybe just like having the basic piercing of this weapon has been very helpful. Certainly the sides can pierce, or the sickles can pierce, but that's not quite the same thing. It cuts well because of how the physics on a circle work. Really? I did not know that. I did not know that. I mean, I guess, yeah, why else would you make it in that shape? But I guess I never really thought about, like, what the actual physics, like how the math would work related to that. Well, there's got to be a reason for it. It's not like for piercing through. Be a little bit careful. Oh, that wasn't enough to kill him? Well, that was. And I will take an upgrade, as always. I don't want to make the mistake of just completely ignoring getting an upgrade for the weapon du jour and then be using the same basic one at the end of the run. So, Well, that was 2, but not every one of the enemies that I wanted to hit. There's nothing else here, right? I could go try and sell stuff in each one of the, like, treasure chest areas, but I think right now I'm just going to go, I don't know, take alienation and get on with this here. Centrifugal force, or centripetal force. Okay. Scythe is not that hard if it's sharp enough. Well, I mean, yeah, I suppose so. But it's like, yeah, what you do is you... Yeah, I'm imagining it right now. I guess the idea would be that just like cutting grass especially is just... I don't know if you've ever done a whole lot of gardening work in your life. My mom has a garden and has had a garden for many, many years, and I was usually the one to actually do a lot of stuff with it. So just like, I don't know. I just think about the long hours of working on that and how that would kind of translate into like scythe or sickle stuff. Bam, and thankfully got to get out of there. Hey, thank you, Snozy13. Welcome to this kind of weird, but so far okay Dead Cells run. I don't hate it. I think it's working out okay, all things considered. Now, we'll see how that happens. Good hit. See how that happens in the future, though. Because it requires but a single... Okay. It requires but a single hit right now to die. And I probably will. Come on, hit him. How are you not hitting him? I swear to God, you guys. Yep. This is some weird nonsense. It's working out, though. Hey. Here, how of this, then? Okay. Man. I tell you. This is, speaking of, like, scuffed episodes, that's certainly a scuffed beginning to this, but it's, otherwise... Wow, that could have been another... another unfortunate end to a run due to invisible enemies there. Like last time, as you know. There we are. 2 left. Come on, I can just wait for enemies to spawn here at this rate, but it's just like, oh boy. Fell asleep last night while watching your stream. Did you have successful episode creation? No, died due to... God, it was just like bad gameplay in the ramparts, right? That was kind of where it ended. So instead what we're doing is we're doing the old part 2. Second verse, same as the first. Except this time I'm not going into... the... Hey, come on. I'm not going into the sewers. Yeah, the toxic miasma. They have like the explosion they do when you're really close to them, and that is very good counter when you need to stick close to enemies with the sickles to make them work. And that was where I went wrong. Still, I think otherwise it was a sound idea. It just, you know, the corrupted prisons once again rearing their ugly head. Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Surprisingly little electricity that's probably going to appear in this episode, considering that it's just like, I don't think... There aren't... there's the Thunder Shield. Yeah, I was going to say, there aren't any actual electric survival weapons, but there is the Thunder Shield if I do happen to get that. Like, yeah, for whatever reason, doesn't actually appear... Yeah! It doesn't actually appear super often in this particular build style. Couldn't tell you why. Yeah, I don't know if the tornado is the best, but it will at least prevent me from taking too much damage due to projectiles right now. Ugh. I don't like that guy at all, speaking of which. Yep. Almost missed you, baby. Yeah, not the easiest thing, but like, as you can see, if you can get the rhythm down, the damage seems solid. It's just, once again, the Serenade issue of getting the rhythm down, I do think is often just like more effort than it's worth. Rather just take a crusher, rather just take the old powerful grenade. As always, just like, it really does have to be something of an exceptional weapon. Very nice. To justify this sort of wacky nonsense you gotta do to make it work. That's frustrating. In fact, at this point in time, I think I am just gonna have to potion charge, which, considering the amount of malaise and the issues that have been coming up because of that, probably not the worst idea. Also gotta go get the Armadillo pack already. The requirement of needing a lot more health right now made that kind of impossible at the time, but, you know. Yep. All right. Legendary electric whip? Well, of course it would. I mean, to be honest, I would probably not actually take that if I was offered it, just because it's like I do think that would be kind of cheesy just straight up to take on like a survival run. Especially a survival run where I've been focusing an awful lot on the actual survival portion of it. It's like there's that old sort of thing where it's just like, you know, I want to make sure, especially that like I'm not reusing stuff, using the same weapons over and over too much. We've seen plenty of the electric whip lately. We all know how good it is and all that. Okay. Don't want it to overstay its welcome. Get Motion Twin suspicious. And they're just like, hey, wait a second. You gotta make this less effective. Have them rush into the studios to try and nerf it as soon as possible. Okay. Good, and not quite enough to take them out, though. That's frustrating. Because I thought, like, dragging the sickles through them 3 times would have been enough there. No such luck. All right. You telling me you don't like cheese? I absolutely do. And look, I have been a big proponent, I would like to say, of just straight up being like, hey, here's all the most overpowered stuff. I sure hope they don't change it. Because I like things being overpowered more than underpowered. But I just think that for the sake... I mean, you know, ostensibly these are, at the end of the day, supposed to be, like, showcase runs. You're like, I just don't want to do the same thing over and over. Because otherwise, then they're just kind of like, you know, optimal building to win the game. Less interesting than forcing yourself to use a whole bunch of different wacky things in order to kind of like show the game off on it to its best extent. Yeah, I saw that. Almost there. Good morning. It's The final of the new DLC weapons today. Scarecrow sickles. They're... I mean, once again, it's one of those items I like the idea. I don't know, though. I don't know. Of course, this is always, as in at least the latest versions of the game, the hardest part of the game. Trying to get through these, like, areas where you don't quite have the DPS to kind of trivially take care of stuff, but you also don't have, like, the perfect build to deal with things in the way that you want to. There's a good chance that a little bit later on that this thing could really start to shine. We'll see. Which basically is my catchphrase, I always notice. It's just like, oh, let's just see. Let's see how this shakes out. Whatever. Because I'm not really willing to pass judgment just yet. Here we are. And done. Now then, where are we going? Ossuary, I guess. I do need that food shop right now. As much as I wanted to go at least slightly interesting areas, it just ain't happening. Like the Mushroom Boy and the Serenade run. Well, hey, we're not at that point yet. I mean, Mushroom Boy, like Serenade, even after it got glitched out and became super powerful, still kind of unimpressive. That was the problem with that run. I mean, you know it, you saw it. Nobody can deny that, like, yes, the Mushroom Boy was... Look, I had a finished showcase run. I feel like it's been a little while since the... after all, since the newer version of Malaise came out, made it a lot trickier to try and get successful runs, especially if you are purposely not using all the most powerful of... Okay, that was interesting. All the most powerful of things. I'm glad to see my iframes were working there because, or, well, whatever happened, I might have just outranged the runner there, but, like, pretty sure you can go roll that footage back and see that I was definitely getting impaled by the blade there. Whatever. As always, what am I going to complain? Motion Twin, please kill me. Please instantly kill my character right now using the backdoor entry you have into the game. Because clearly I was supposed to have died. Here we are. Yeah, let's not deal with that guy. Just for my own sakes. I actually managed to get the parry there and everything. Hey, that was a good combo. It's like, this is certainly a very cool weapon when you get it going, but God, is it still quite difficult to actually get to that point in the first place. It's like you can really... The piercing, the way it stays out indefinitely, it's just... The dodging game really has to be on point. It's still kind of a cool thing, the idea that it's like the dodging is about maximizing your damage rather than avoiding getting hit. It's like, you know, that's always such a common thing in like any sort of video game. That it's like to try and make it so that just like the bonus here is to maximize your DPS. It has nothing to do with like not dying. It's like it certainly does take the pressure off to a certain extent. Yoink. There we go. Full health, baby. Only took the entire run. I just shoot it with 1,000,000 arrows, whatever. Jeez. Now this, yeah, you know, I'm getting a little bit too spicy trying to go for... It's like there was no way that I was going to... That's more what I was planning to do. There's no way that I was going to just with one hit kill those shockers there, regardless of how much I wanted to. It's like I'm starting to turn around a little bit on the weapon. I feel like at this point in time they really are starting to electrified, frozen. It's like, I don't know. I feel like that I have more of a chance of getting fire here, and those any sort of fire. Yeah, you know, I'm looking at it right now. These sickles really gonna shine when I get any form of fire. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but if it can happen, that'd be good. Cudgel. Pugel. Nah. On the other hand, let's get door advantage here and... Yo, I already got both the sickles back. Ah, well, that's what happens when you mess up the combo. Also having a really hard time freezing stuff right now, but it's not too bad. Toxic, poison enemies and wound you. None of these are, like, amazing. I think I can just keep what I got right now. Oh boy, oh boy. Managed to end 2 of the streams. Wait, how do you manage to end any streams? Were you the one that had me killed in the ramparts? I don't know how you did it. But I mean, you know, unless you want, you know, as in an effort to... Okay, freezing there was probably a good idea. Same thing there. Wow, that was some clutch plays. Okay, cool. Okay. Making this work, baby. Okay, well, unfortunately, not quite enough to take out that elite, but I didn't die, so we'll count that as a success, is what usually happens when those guys become elites. Nothing down here. Where the thing I'm worried about more than anything else, of course, is, as always, the curse chest, especially now, you know. Don't really. I am taking alienation. Gonna be something of a problem. Well, hey, if I get some sort of fire synergy from colorless weapon, it wouldn't be terrible. Nope. Also managed to cancel the old turning into an elite. The old turning into an elite trick. A favorite of the enemies in Dead Cells, of the horrible zombies that I happen to find myself fighting all the time. Yep. Yep. Malaise elites have more health than the regular ones. I think they have the same health as regular elites, but, you know, they also get an increased amount of health as enemies become malaised up. As you get more malaised up, enemies get more health, and that includes elites. So I don't really think that it's so much like any sort of true difference. It's just kind of how the game is working right now. Because I hate it? Yeah. Would you show face for more subs? I already told you, 100,000 on YouTube, or 1,000 on Twitch. That's the face reveal goal, baby. It will be for no less. Could actually just go. Well, here, do we have anything that does fire? I don't even know what I'd be looking for. It's Thunder Shield, like I was talking about, but nah, I don't think that's gonna happen. And unfortunately, now I gotta go, because I want to go get the curse chest. I'm scared though. Can't go get the potion charge. I think probably got enough money for that. Oh boy. Thankfully, it seemed okay. I don't know how that happened, but apparently I was out of range of that shocker somehow, for reasons that I cannot quite explain myself. Yeah? All right. 1,000 concurrent viewers on Twitch. No. No, I'm too embarrassed, Doshio. All right, come on. Let's see if I can't nail this. Okay, well, there's the fire that I was looking for, certainly. All right. I do think. Yeah, I'm gonna try and work with this. This I think is oh yeah, of course we already got the face reveal. How could I forget? Who all do you host, Wolfrain? Yeah, Wolfrain was the first guy to give me a raid, so I've always got a soft spot for that dude. That was back in like 2018 or so. So yeah, Wolfrain always there. Go follow that dude. But then I also host both Retromation and Raps, because, you know, there's always. I guess I couldn't hardly say that it's just like, you know, friends on YouTube, but because I have no friends and I'm very reclusive, But, you know, I'm always willing to give those dudes shout-outs because I do watch quite a bit of their stuff. Been actually catching up with the some of the Isaac stuff lately because, as you know, I am deep down that rabbit hole. Been fun to see other people also struggling with some of the insanity that game has been inflicting. Okay. Now then, we can do the face reveal, announce it early so I can't miss it. I don't know. I mean, you already got that face there. Like, what more could you possibly want? How much more real could a face reveal become than that? Understand. I didn't get the oil on there. Well, I'm more committed to not dying right now than, yeah, not dying due to curses. You can also go cosplay. Okay, so here's a look into my psyche. I consider that it's like if I was ever actually going to do some sort of face reveal, which at this rate doesn't look like, but it's like if I was ever going to actually do some sort of face reveal, the plan would be to dress up as like a literal clown. I'm talking like with the big rainbow wig and, okay, talking like with a big rainbow wig, like the polka dot uniform, red nose, and then never show my face again past that point. And then basically every single time that you were looking for any sort of official image of myself, it would be me dressed as like an actual bozo clown. And it's like that would, if I ever got on like, you know, Wikipedia or something, that would be the official picture that you have to use because no other pictures exist. That's what I want. It's just like if I'm like getting an award for, you know, I don't know, Nobel Peace Prize or something, that's the picture you have to use. And I would, of course, accept the award also in the same full clown makeup. Ooh, there we go. Nice. You're selling yourself short. I mean, you're right. I mean, I might not just be... I might also be, like, accepting a Grammy for my, of course, distinguished musical career, as well as, like, I don't know, a MacArthur Genius Grant at the same time, too. Oh, man, I came in here when I have 59 kills. Oh, no. That was a bad idea on my part. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Ah, and it's gone. I'm sorry, everybody. I failed you once again. Oh, yeah, my beat... I could have won a big trophy for my beatboxing abilities. Yeah, I wasn't looking at the kill count. I didn't think I was that close, to be honest. Oh, man, you ain't getting a Genius Grant. Hey, come on. You don't have to be you don't have to, like, what sort of genius do you have to be to pay attention to how much sure, whoa, boy, dude. Holy Christ, how many elites are coming up as well right now? Oh, and unfortunately, this is the area that I would need to go to get into the food shop again. Ah, what a horrible confluence of events. But I should be able to deal with this nonetheless. Oh, yeah, and that's one with, like, the bad stuff, too. Well, that could have been bad considering the amount of health that I have right now, but I'm actually totally okay. Anyway, give me both of those and let's try not to die anymore. See, it's unlikely that I would have gotten the 60 kills regardless. Oh, chug, chug, chug. Yeah, I mean, it's like for my cover of Chug Jug with you, I would obviously be also getting a Tony in Fortnite the Musical. That's right, they cast me as Fortnite Johnson, the main character of Fortnite. I would be cast as the Fortnite. That's right, it's me, the Fortnite. Hey kids. Have you chug-jugged today? And I, of course, would be given the signature number. Yeah, that's about all I'm going to be doing here. Fortnite sounds like a character in Shovel Knight. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like Shield Knight, right? No. I mean, actually, no, it's more like Tinker Knight. Yeah, I would call that closer to Tinker Knight. Anyway. Hey, if it was a drug, it would be called Drug Jug. So, think about that. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Alright, what am I doing here? I was considering taking something else, but I don't know what. Obviously, Armadillo Pack's still going to be a thing. Like, gastronomy I still think would be a good idea. How about just Berserker? I'm killing a lot of enemies, after all, especially if I'm just dragging the sickles through them, so... Sure. Also, you know, maybe just do that real quick. I just got a feeling. We talking a 2-hour opera? No. It's going to be like the Ring cycle. It's going to take a full day to watch the entirety of... because, you see, Fortnite the Musical is going to have 100 actors as a part of it. And they will all kill each other over the course of roughly 36 hours. Look, trust me, I have this all planned out right now. Now then. I mean, of course, it's like you will also have to follow the production as it is. Oh, come on. That was too... God dang. You also have to follow the production as it's going on because there will be the storm that not only eventually overtakes the theater, but also like the entire surrounding countryside. It'll be represented by just a bunch of fog machines, but you get it though, right? Yeah, you get it. We all get it. It's a good bit. Really got to go replace the tornado. It's not that effective, let's be honest. Also got to stop getting hit just in general, too. Boy, howdy, would it be embarrassing to die, too. Got the incomplete one. Concierge. The incomplete concierge. Right? Okay, well. Didn't work out in the way that I wanted to. Everybody. I suppose it is good for getting oil on enemies using the tornado, but, you know, can't really say that it's just like that's all that important as of right now. Ah! Getting close to enemies is not really doing me any favors either. Yeah. It's like if I could have kept the combo up, it would have been fine. But yeah, I think that just like the other thing is probably want to stop trying to go for really cutesy stuff and just actually fight the damn guy already. Nope, I'm going right back doing cutesy stuff again. Sorry. Ah, dang it, and I screwed it up anyway. Now then. Why did I ever try to roll through? Oh, man, this is going horribly. It's been a while since I've had a concierge fight this bad. Well, it's done now. Is that a legendary pyrotechnics? It sure is. It really do be. Which is why I'm using it right now, of course. Pyrotechnics is still a pretty good item. It's just, you know, I could, you know, use other items right now, too, as well. Oh, boy. So bad it hurts to watch. It's literally unwatchable, I think is what you wanted to say. Right? Wait, is this that's not a legendary, it's just colorless. Okay, actually, yeah. The legendary was the ice shield that I got, as well as tornado. No, tornado's also not legendary. It's just the ice shield. Okay, well, I forgot what was what. It is colorless. Let's just say that right now. Okay, well, needless to say, I do need to go to a place with an actual food shop, so let's head into the Stealth Village, I guess. Ah. All right. You can roll through the damage aura. Yeah, they changed that up specifically because, you know, the original version of the reworked Malaise had enemies moving faster. which could have potentially put you in a position where you would be completely unable to dodge around that otherwise. They did take out the increased speed, so I guess it might go back to being a little bit larger now, but that was the original reason why. It was, it would have been pretty wacky if it was still as large as it was before. When the concierge had the ability to start sauntering towards you at terrifying speeds. All right. Now, anyway, back to Fortnite the musical. How many other like, I gotta say, it's like, how many other actual Fortnite parody songs are there? I know, of course, it's a very, very popular thing for like, Minecraft. I've learned a lot about how important diamonds are in that game. But is that a super common thing for Fortnite as well, or is it really just like, you know, one or two here and there? Because, I mean, of course, it's like we're going to have this epic of a tale when it comes to telling the story of Fortnite Battle Royale. Do need to have at least more than one, actual show-stopping song. Eye of the Spider is such a classic. Yeah, but wait, does that one have anything to do with mining diamonds? Because those are the only Minecraft songs I know. Okay. Those kids love their diamonds. I look forward to it, and I also eventually play Minecraft to figuring out why diamonds are so cool. Okay, what else we got going on here? Probably going to end up just going immediately for... Well, let's see what we got here, because I could also really use a shield. Oh. Kids who play Minecraft or who play Fortnite aren't old enough to create good parodies yet. What do you mean? That parody of American Boy is great. Don't you all love Chug Jug? After all, I have been referencing it like every single stream I've done for like the past 7 streams now. Okay. Let's just not even. Yeah. Okay. And not quite enough to kill him. Damn it. I do think that it's like, yeah, I'm kind of running into the issue of not quite enough damage off of these things to, again, like justify the sort of wacky stuff you got to use with them. I was hoping that was going to get a little bit better later, but especially with the hecticness of 5-cell mode, it's not quite working out in the way that I wanted to. Heard a guy do it with a goofy voice. The guy is like 5 years old that made it. That's not a goofy voice. That's what a child sounds like. Like, come on, don't be insulting because he's like 5 years old. We were all 5 years old and making cringe song parodies at one point in time. It's just, you know, I wasn't doing it about video games. I was making fun of Alanis Morissette songs. I mean, I'm not that old. What are you talking about? I'm only 17 forever. Like everybody on the internet. Okay. Come on, don't die. Okay. Man. That was scary. I saw my life flash before my life. What? No, my eyes. And also I don't have eyes or a life. Oh no, I'm undead and also have no head. I'm unhead. Now then. Ugh. Nyanner's cover was the best Chug Chug. Yeah, I was in that stream. As you know. Okay. Now then. There we go. Much better already. And yes, also already a better necklace too. God, I hope I can only find the food shop soon. Isn't this a mature stream? Hey, I pay taxes. I have a full-time job. I own my own car. Like, I am a mature and responsible adult, regardless of what you might think of me. And the courts will back me up on that. What's your favorite Hatsune Miku? I haven't really watched too much of Miku. I'm gonna be honest. It's like, so I guess like my favorite one would be the Domino's commercial. I don't know if that really counts though. All right, let's throw the ice shield back in the backpack. I like having that as like the emergency thing and a little bit more damage, you know, for just outright attacking right now. Okay, what's the theme right now? We're doing the Scarecrow Sickles. It's like they're fun, and when you can really get them to work, they're pretty cool. But I want to say that once again, it's like, yeah, it was what I feared. Probably not. The practicality of them, though, is kind of in question. They're somewhat difficult to use. It's like, it's somewhat difficult to use, and in the fray of things, they're not the easiest thing to, like, really, you know, use to their maximum effect. Can go through the walls, though. That is something of a unique thing, after all. You don't get... It's not often that you get a weapon that can actually hit enemies through walls like that. Which makes them useful for taking out stuff like bats, but that doesn't make the biggest difference. You know. Fake Miku fan? Yeah, it's true. I'm only a fan of fake Miku. In other words, one of the other many, many Vocalides that nobody knows the name of. Well, I guess if I'm gonna be doing anything, I should be fighting the Scarecrow right now, because, you know, this is their weapon. So I guess we're going to the Sepulcher. And just you know, strap yourself in for that. My achievement is bugged for Serenade Sword. Can you help solve the problem? I honestly couldn't tell you. Could not tell you anything related to bugged achievements. I mean, to be honest, it's just like usually when achievements get announced, when they get unlocked, I just kind of get them immediately, and you know, it's just like that. So I don't really know exactly how a lot of that sort of stuff might be working or not working, as the case may be. Is your favorite VTuber? Yanners. We share the same 4chan circa 2007 to like 2013 references. Into the Undying Shores. I mean, to be honest, I watch a lot of VTubers, though. Really? I mean, it's... Like I said, for whatever reason, in 2020, a lot of people who I was already following at that point in time just suddenly turned into VTubers. So I'm just like, well, I guess I'm into this now. I didn't even have to fall down the rabbit hole. I already found myself in there. They built the hole around me. For God's sake. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I don't like a lot of this sort of stuff that's going on, though. I'm very afraid of how the rest of this area might be going. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's how they get you. YouTube, very happy about telling you everything about VTubers, let me tell you. Yeah, okay. I am happy to see, but yeah, like I said, it's just like a lot of people that I was already following were getting into the VTubing game, and it's just like, yeah, well, here we are. Okay. Even whether I realize it or not, Gura. Took watching a couple of those streams to figure out, hey, wait a second, I know who this is. Right, and done. Oh, man. Plus, best place for that outfit to appear. I don't know, I think the Shattered Shrines, of course, would be the best place, but the Cultist is definitely still very much welcome in here as well. Ah. Now then. 68%. I'm going to wait. I mean, I still have Necromancy, of course, so I don't really need to start using my emergency heal as of just yet, but God knows that's like, worst comes to worst, I am definitely going to be using that before the end of the level right now. It's just the best place for food to drop into the abyss. I mean, we all saw my emphatic no when the cheese did that the one time. God. It's like I make a lot of dumb noises on, no, unfortunately not one that I can use. Gotta be, threw away my shield. Okay. Yeah, I knew it. I knew I was gonna get to the point where it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna be below 50% health here. I thought that was legendary for a second. No such luck. Oh, and there's where I start getting really hit by stuff. Bad running with the old Rampager. There we go. Necromancy was broken and healed like 5%. I mean, it also, healed you up to full. It was something that, it was the thing to take. Regardless of what else you were doing. In a survival run, you would take Necromancy. No question. Because it was that good. These days, it's just like, I think that if you think you're going to be getting hit a lot, it's probably a good idea. Especially now that, you don't have the issues with, the issues that, that come up with, malaise being on hit anymore. It's just like anything that gives you a little bit of regen is going to be very welcome, very useful to have. Hit. No, you don't. You can still go right through that wall there, baby. Survival run or just to run it all. It's true. It's like if you had enough, like killing potential, if you could kill enemies really well without getting hit without like worrying about getting hit too much, it's like, yeah, why not just throw survival in there? It's like it heals. It do heal. Heal good. Of course, the major problem would come in with of course, with the malaise then, but, up until that point, you can still weather a hit and then mostly recover from it if you're doing like a tactics run. It's good stuff. These days, not nearly as good. Might be for the best. It was quite powerful. Yeesh. But at the same time, it's like I've also, like I've said, been one to never turn up my nose at something that's very powerful. Only in the case of doing showcase runs, and that's because, I want to get the full gamut of different weapons here. I don't want to keep defaulting back to the same thing over and over. Even if sometimes I do end up doing that with Mushroom Boy, with Magic Missile, even Pyrotechnics. It's not quite as poggy-woggy as it was back in the day, but still a damn good weapon nonetheless. As evidenced right now. Does the What Doesn't Kill Me work with Armadillo Pack? Yes, it does. But only if you are using Armadillo Pack on melee hits. And you gotta be in a good position to be getting hit with Armadillo Pack hits in melee range. It's like more often you're going for more of the, of course, like ranged bombs or projectiles with the Armadillo Pack. That's not to say that it doesn't happen, though. I still want to say that it's like you're probably better off taking like Necromancy, Gastronomy, rather than relying on heals from that. You don't get it quite as much as you might think you would. All right, then. Back up to 50% health. Got a 50% heal. Still going to be fighting the Scarecrow, which is scary by itself. Scarecrowy by itself, if you will. Dr. Inferno Crowbird. No, Dr. Inferno Firecrow, if you will. That's me. Oh. Heal good, damage bad. Well, you say that, but that's how I approach higher cell difficulty. Defensive mutations always take precedence over offensive ones because, good God, have you seen how hard enemies hit you in this mode? It's like, sure, if you're able to blitz them down fast enough, it can work, but I don't know. I think more often than not, I'm not able to. Okay. I am willing to trade out my... Oh, that's a little bit too spicy. Well, I'm perfectly willing to trade out my stuff for stuff. So I'm looking for something here that I might be able to. Or, you know what? Yeah, sure. And shield? Sounds good to me. My tornado is not... I don't really want to keep the tornado for too much longer, but I guess I probably want a more powerful version of the actual weapon du jour rather than worrying too much about optimizing it with a build that I've used a million times before. I can't believe I got hit by the lantern. It's a lantern. Who gets hit by that? It's not even a real weapon. I mean, it is a real weapon, but you know what I mean by that. All right. All right now, ladies. Today is gonna be the day, is gonna be the day that it comes back to you. Okay, let's go grab that heal already. Let's do this. Why do I play Dead Cells so much? Because one, there's not a whole lot of people who are doing like a whole ton of 5-cell runs, and especially like those sort of weird showcasey type of stuff, which is why I, way back in the day, about 2017, I guess, decided that this was going to be the major content for the channel. And also people like watching. And I feel like I've also gotten enough practice with Dead Cells, as it were, that, like, you know, this is where the best commentary from me comes out more often than not. So I think it's just like, yeah, you know, it's like coming home, baby. That's why I play so much of the game. It is still, even at this point in time, very fun to play. Hey, yeah. Why not Fortnite? Why not Fortnite? I mean, after all, I am going to be starring as the Fortnite in the musical. I should probably be playing that a little bit more, right? But at the same time, it's like, you know, multiplayer games. As you do. How they nerf necromancy? It only heals up to 50% health now. It's a pretty marked change. It also heals a bit less, but that doesn't matter nearly as much as the fact that it only goes up to 50%. That's, wait, I never even noticed they had like a little thing for bosses there. Oh, that's interesting. All right, let's do this. Okay. I can't believe that you hit me. That's okay, though. Try and get out those sickles, though. It's not the easiest thing to attempt to... Again. Embarrassing, frankly. Also, that was a bad time to try and go for the... heal. I felt confident, but clearly I shouldn't have. Ooh, good armadillo pack usage. Well, it's... I'll at least have beaten them. Whatever. A successful kill is a successful kill as far as I'm concerned. Also, man, I can't believe we're finally at this point now where where it took that long to get the final thing. Just give me the Giant's whistle. Screw it. And give me this too. I've given up on life. We're using the classics, baby. Oh, that can still explode. Potentially kill you after the boss fight. That's funny. Doc, are you stupid? Why are you getting hit? I'm sorry. Old Fortnite pre-Battle Royale saved the world? Yeah. Everybody forgets about that actually existing. That was back when it was the fort builder. Hi-ha. Sort of a survival game, wasn't it? Something like that. So, here's the question. Are we going to go to the distillery or the castle? But is Dead Cells your favorite game? No, it's I think it's an absolutely fantastic game, but that always will forever go to NetHack. I love that game so much. When I played that for the channel, I got so ridiculously hardcore back into it that it's just like, man, days on end were spent playing it. You think Isaac was bad? Or is bad? Yeah, it's like I say that like I'm not done with it yet. Thoughts on Distillery? Hard. But at the same time, it's like I still think it's a pretty cool area. Very difficult, though. Okay, well, I guess we got to do this for real. Unless... No. There we go. Perfect. Guess it depends on if you want to live or die. Well, I am currently out of potion charges, which is what one would call big uh-oh time for me. Now it is time for big uh-ohs. So, we'll see how this goes. Come on. Ugh. Didn't even get the infected worker there. That's okay, though. Ow. Ow. My entire body has been torn asunder. Ah, why? Well, why is because I have no short-term memory, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Look, I still got necromancy working, and this is the exact, and it's the reasons like this is why I have necromancy in the first place. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you can parry that. It's weird, isn't it? Anyway, bonk. Oh, speaking of bonk, they got bonked, not me. Don't worry, I'll get bonked soon enough. In fact, you know what? Let's just. Yep. Good opportunity to use that, I suppose. I'll say I was scared there for a second. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Ah, that was some good dodging at the very least, though. All right. No, punch him. Yeah. Come on. Come on, Giant. You know what I'm paying you for, and it's to punch him. I'm not paying you to not punch him. You know this. You know me, same old Punchy G. By the way, right now, just do want to give one quick rest in peace to Shock G. That's so sad. Everybody listen to Digital Underground after this to in celebration of the man's life. Okay. Oh, actually, I'll take that. Probably should have actually saved it for the end of this, but oh man. Oh man. Is the Giant on salary? Well, yes and no. He is a vassal to the kingdom. So I don't know if you would really consider that a salaried position, but he still does work for me nonetheless. There we go. Oh. The benefits are terrible, and the hours are terrible, and the work is terrible. But too bad, you're working for me, baby. Don't know if you know how kingdoms work, but your opinion does not make any difference. Oh my god. Incredible superstar. Go some lyrics, make it run like a supercar. Alright. I'm so happy that somebody was able to tell me what that song was so I could listen to it a million more times. Oh, da-da-da. Good. Vassal. Yeah. He's a vessel for cells. No. Yes. Kind of. Oh boy, I'm like getting through this more successful than I kind of expected, but I'm not going to say that it's just like it's perfect in any respect. This is after I got the 50% heal after all. Now then. Oh, yeah. I forgot that it really does. Yeah, no, it's a... Oh, no. Yeah. I can hit it into it, though, right? Yes. Barely. Okay. I can heal up too. I have the heals. Never forget about that. Oh, is it possible to complete this area without using the barrel launcher? Yes. you get an achievement for it, in fact. But I am not like planning to do that right now. It's just how it's going anyway. Oh, work can't be that bad. He mostly just gets to sit around until something happens. Well, let's ignore the fact that he was stabbed with a giant halberd, the, notable weapon of the king at the beginning of the game. That, he wields in the statue. Actually, it wasn't even like a halberd. It was more like a naginata sort of deal. Sad. I'm okay, though. I'm still alive. Oh, still can't believe you haven't switched up pyrotechnics. Pyrotechnics is good, though. It's damage over time and also me dying? No, yes, no, maybe, potentially. Potentially? There's high potential? 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 Okay, anyway. Any questions? Oh, damage over time. Easy to fulfill critical. Come on, what's not to like? Not as much damage as you want it to be, but it's not bad at all if you were to ask my opinion on the subject matter, and you are. You're doing it right now. With your, questions. Oh, now I do need the barrel launcher, because I, didn't notice the enemy coming up behind me. Oh, well. To be honest, I'll probably end up just taking that into the next fight, considering how well it works against the Hand of the King. And I'm feeling good, baby, when it comes to fighting the Hand of the King if I got a barrel launcher. What's your favorite real-life weapon? To be honest, not really all that into weapon-y type stuff. So, don't really have an opinion on it, really. Yeah. Favorite real-life weapon? I do not like the barrels around here, I'll be honest with you. Right now, okay. I thought I was going to have issues occur. They did not, though. See, think of it like this. I am already back up to 50% health. It's all coming up like gravy, baby. Safe as houses. Okay. Take you out. Actually, just punch. And march order. Look, I know how to do the basic. Certainly at this point in time, I know how to do the basic, yeah, get out of here. We're using this. The basic stuff. Yeah, instead of the shield? Yes. He means coming up Millhouse. Yeah, sure. It's always coming up Millhouse. Okay. See, necromancy definitely does have its uses. It's not the best form of healing, but it's the most consistent. Can't say anything to the contrary. Bam. I should do it, because I'm not going to hang around in this area anymore. Ha! For his neutral special, he wields a gun. It's such a, speaking of that, though, and by speaking of that, I don't know, we're going to talk about it right now, I guess. It is weird to think that, like, for Brawl, they were so against letting Snake have any form of guns that it's like he has none of that in his entire arsenal, and yet it's just like for his neutral special, he wields a gun. And time Ultimate comes around. It's a tool, though. Yeah, I mean, it's not a real gun. I mean, look, I've been doing, hey, good outfit. I've been doing certainly plenty of Persona 5. I know how it functions. You don't got to tell me. But it's just like, they didn't say he wields a toy gun that shoots psychic bullets. They said he wields a gun. Brad. Okay, well, I guess that's that. Outfits are on point. Unfortunately, the gameplay is not. As you do. Ruh-roh Raggy. I feel like that was more appropriate for what just happened there. All right. That's good enough as far as I'm concerned. A little bit, Bad gameplay aside, a fairly decent run. Now, in the meantime, let's switch over to Binding of Isaac because I feel like it. Y'all can shut up if you don't like it. Yeah, Binding of Isaac. Because, I like it. What? It's not like we're going to go and redo the entire run just for that. Persona 6? I don't care. Persona. Look, man. I got to tell you. We're done with Persona. Like, I am done with Persona after this. It used to be a series I liked a lot, but it's like, that ain't happening anymore. And the viewership plummets to record lows. So what am I doing today? And before somebody, I mean, if you want me to play Strikers, I'll play Strikers, but I'm not gonna like the game, and I'm gonna just like blast through that game as soon as, like as quickly as possible. Wait, this game was made by one person? Oh, it was made by two people. The original one, Edmund McMillian and Florian Himsel. This one is made by an entire team, though. Bethany? Yeah, we can do Beth. She's got plenty of stuff left to do, certainly. Are you going to play Persona 5 spin-off, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series? Dante from the Devil May Cry series? Absolutely. I love that guy. The Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Oh, let's take Revelation immediately. Cool. Good starts. That's a hell of a start. Anyway. All right, then. We got a run going, baby. What to do, though? I don't know. What should I do? What do I have yet to do? We could do proper hard mode version of Beast. Maybe go for Delirium. Maybe Delirium would be one to do. Because, like, I think that as it is, already looking at a Holy Brimstone. Holy Brimstone is technically the Tresagian, but Revelation certainly is not dissimilar, to say the least. Oh, yeah, whatever. It actually works independently of your tiers, so you don't actually need to... It works independently of your tiers, so you don't need to, like, have it replace your normal stuff. It's something that's added on top of everything. Once again, making, you know, Angel Rooms the clear choice in Repentance right now, which I'm okay with. It should be the clear choice. Like, geez. And that's always a nice thing to get. So, the question is now, should I go for proper knife ending Delirium? I think, you know what, I'm going to go for, like, boss fight Hush Delirium. Because I think that could be kind of tricksy to do. To start with. So it's like having a good run, especially a good run that starts out very strong, very fast, is a good portent. But it's actually not really even Holy Brimstone. It's more like the lasers, the angels shoot out, like the angel statue bosses. Very close to those type of things. Bomb Bomb I could get down with. Whatever. I got freaking laser beams here. Awakening all kinds of faith. Nintendo is pushing that hard. Pushing what hard? The Nocturne? Because I'm okay with that. Nocturne I always thought looked pretty fun. Also, like, you know, it's not going to have the same sort of issues that, like, the original Persona has, for example. At least not quite the same ones. Bruh. I didn't lose my angel deal or anything, did I? Or angel room. It's not an angel deal. You don't make a deals with the angel. It's not a thing. Diplopia. Big Yeah, okay, so they're not pushing Strikers specifically, because it's just like, I don't know, I'm okay with that. Nocturne's cool. That's been a game I've wanted to play for a very long time, except it's kind of rare, so I would have had to really pay out on Amazon for it. Of course, that also does mean that I'm going to have to go pay out to get, like, a Switch and everything. But I don't know, man. I don't think that's not the worst. I think Holy Light's probably the one to go for. Again, big DPS increases. It's not like the other ones were super effective in terms of improving my run otherwise too much. Ah. I am locking in Angel Deal this, though, let me tell you. That's not even a question. Anyway, I'll throw in some cash for a Switch. No, look, here's the thing. I can afford a Switch. That's not the problem. I just don't feel like getting it, basically. I was like, I don't know. I just play everything on PC anyway. Oh, yeah, I could have also just deploplied that entire thing, too. I didn't even think about it. Oh, well, I'm sure there'll probably be some good diplopia targets later anyway. Bam. And what else we got in terms of rooms on this floor? Actually, nah. I got good news, guys. My mom loves me. Congratulations. I know you've been working towards it for quite... Oh, come on. Been working towards it for quite a while, and it's great to hear that you finally reached that point. Your mom loves you. Nope. Mm-hmm. Health up. I'll take that. Absolutely. Bad trip, I will not take, on the other hand. Although... Whoa. I can just go down to the arcade now and maybe play that a couple times, even though I am kind of on a time limit. I should probably, you know, sort of remember that when the time comes. Come on. Is that the nail? Huh. I don't know. Probably. Nah. Not a great. I don't think that's worth taking. I'd rather have diplopia at this point in time. You don't actually. I don't actually get health from it anyway, so it would just be more charges, which I forgot when I was using it. But whatever, it's fine. Come on. There we go. I gotta hurry up already, because, like, time waits for no man. 5 minutes, though, is already a pretty good start to the whole shenanigans that I'm having to do here, though. All right. Yeah, send me. Oh. Now then. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that I actually played, like, all the other PS2 Megami Tensei games, specifically, like, the Digital Devil Saga, as well as the Raido games. So it's like, the fact that I never actually played Nocturne is weird, if anything. And Persona 3, of course. And Persona 4. All of them, basically. I played all of them. Yeah. But, yeah, I'd be totally okay with finishing it up, baby. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot that it's like I do get special wisps, though, for using the thing anyway, which makes using the nail at least a couple times totally worthwhile. That is kind of a thing, isn't it? There we go. And more keys. Why do you hurt yourself? Hurt myself in what way? For the sake of entertainment, of course. There we are. And there we go. See if I can go get more angel rooms, because diplopia is a good item to use in there. Just as a general thing. I didn't have it charged up. Oh, God. Ah, come on. Right up against the wall, eh? Shin Megami Tensei? Shin Megami Tensei is a good game. I mean, it's a good series. Only Persona is bad. Like, Persona's the only bad one there. I still enjoyed, like, Strange Journey and everything, because those are a lot more gameplay focused. Just in general. The ones that aren't, though, are the Persona games, which are a lot more visual novel-like, which I enjoyed back in the day, but no longer. No longer. Ah. Give me some Friday Night Funko Pops. Yeah, where's my Funko Pops, guys? Why don't I have all the cool Funko Pops that the rest of the streamers have? And also like a cool streamer setup and whatever. For when I'm playing Fortnite. Because as we've established, I play Fortnite. I'll hear nothing else to the contrary. Now, come on. Oh, for God's sake. I didn't mean to put down a bomb there. Now then. Oh, screw it. I want it, baby. I think I think that's a pretty big damage up for me now, to say the least. All right, glowing hourglass, box. I'll take the box. No, 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 nothing. Ah. All right, I gotta hurry up already. Looks like as much as I would have liked to have gone for more angel-y type of stuff. Okay. Much as I would have liked to have gone for more angel-y type of stuff, it's like that just ain't gonna be happening. That dog ain't gonna hunt. Oh well, that's fine. I won't even give you a P.O. box to send him a Booba Wrap plushie. I would like that a lot. I still got my Rido plushie that came with the second Rido game. Booba Rat plushie and not a body pillow. You know the rat doesn't have boobs, right? That's like not a thing. Ah! Well, I guess I'm going to the curse room then. Ah, well. Holy shit, you have the Rido plush? Yeah, I do. At least I think. Okay, I have it at my parents' house. I guess it's like I guess that's not quite the exact same thing. But it's like I could probably go find it if I wanted to. It's a little plushie of Jack Frost that is dressed up like Rido Kuzunoha. Because I bought the game, because that's what you did back in the day. Okay. Good stuff. Oh, U2s. What is a U2s? You will have to explain this thing to me. Make it as, and boomerify it as much as possible for somebody such as myself who's eternally 17 years old. As established. Ugh. Oh, that's whatever. Is that the Book of the Dead? Boy. I think I'd rather just keep the box, to be honest, but I don't know. There's something I can do there. Finally unlock that after all. That's good for, like, defense and every... whatever. I'm taking the box. U2s is a Funko-type merchandise. Oh. Of the Funko style. Funko Pops of YouTubers. What? How disturbing. As you could tell from my reaction there. I don't know how to feel about that. Watch battery. Nah. 17-year-old with a receding hairline. You say that like that's an unusual thing. Like, that happens to a lot of 17-year-olds. Let's be honest here. Nice. Nice. I have a receding hairline. That's a conversation. It is not a very deep or complex one. What do you got? I guess with like Kane's eye, that could actually be kind of good. Okay. Not a big deal, but whatever. Man, flight in just like the first area possible. Very nice. And take that down. All right, and that's on the damage up too. So we're looking pretty saucy right now. Did I gulp Kane's eye? No, it is that's Kane's eye. That's the item version of that. You can see it right after Revelation in the little tiny item bar. The nearsighted friend one, not the the trinket one is. The trinket one just gives you the chance to map out the floor ahead of time. Doesn't actually give you like a familiar. Oh yeah. Plan here is still Hush into Delirium, as well as Boss Rush if I could possibly swing it. We'll see though. I want to say Boss Rush first, and then Hush into Delirium. This would be the sort of thing to make that happen, though. Yeah. Missing? No? Nah. Big if true, but not what I'm looking for. All right. Hello, fellow kids. Oh, man. I'm gonna do it. I did it. Was that a good idea? I don't know. But, like, I did it. Why did I do it? Because I was kind of curious about what the wisp was going to be. And apparently it is just a coin wisp. I guess that makes sense. That machine was nearly empty. It's true. I got to go refill it. Got to go get it. Okay. Just go into like a tainted keeper. It'll be fine. Hierophant. The Hierophant. What you got? Flat stuff or more keys? Can't say I care too much. Okay. And frankly, I'm just trying to find the boss at this point in time so I can have as much time as possible to do the upcoming fights. Rib of Greed. You know what? I'm actually going to take Rib of Greed. I got a feeling. Just going to say that right now. I got a feeling that might be more useful than not. It's not like the other stuff has been helping me out that much anyway. All right, come on. Come on, give me another angel room. Very nice. That's not quite what I'm looking for though. Door stopper? Oh, here, just because I'm curious. What does it do? Mr. Boom Boom Boom. Want you in my room. Whatever. I'm out of here. You're disappointing, Angel. That's like the original one. Doc, someone who has barely played Isaac, why are you leaving items behind? Bad synergy with a run or something else? Some items I just can't take. Like, I only have room for one active item. And the one that I'm currently using right now makes it so that the trinket that I'm carrying, which is also the stuff that I've been spawning every single time I use it, it's a 4-room charge, it makes them doubly effective. So if I get one that, like, ups my damage or ups my fire rate, that can actually be very, very good. Fortunately, nothing like that has come up just yet, but I'm thinking it's just a matter of time, frankly. Till I get something like that, or just something that is like super effective when it gets super doubled up. I also make wisps based on every time that I... this character in particular has an item called the Book of Virtues. You can see like the book underneath the box that I'm using right now. That makes a wisp that also shoots or does some other special effect whenever I use my active item. Which is why I've been all about using that right now. I'll take bombs, sure. Could probably use more. Great. Could probably use more keys than I could use bombs, really. Wheel. Nah, wheel's not going to do me any good right now. Besides, I'm doing timed stuff right now. Boss rush is after 20 minutes, the door closes, and then there's also a fight against the boss called the Hush, which closes after 30 minutes. And if I want to hit both of those, I got to be pretty fast in boss rush. Very nice. And you know what? I'll take both of these things. Man, that donation machine is not going to last too much longer now, is it? Nice. But, you know, point is, got to be at least somewhat expedient right now. The card that I'm using, at the moment, will immediately take me to the boss fight, but I want to use that for the later stuff, for the secondary boss, or, hush fight thing. Yeah, okay. I don't need shops anymore. Would be better on other characters. Those ones. But anyway, we'll use this a little bit. Yeah, you can only hold one trinket unless you have specific items. There are other items that can allow you to hold 2 trinkets, but you can't, those are not like traditional items. Those are more like, sort of like halfway between items and just like equipables, I'd almost call them. Yeah. Nothing. Oh man, I really gotta get to the fight already. It's like I gotta get there, like, oh, it's right there actually. So, that works. Come on. Yeah, this item, like I said, spawns trinkets every time I use it. 2 of them now that I got the car battery. But it's like I'm leaving most of them behind because, well, most of them are not very relevant to the run. The one that I just left behind gives me more red heart drops, which is useful, but I want something that does more damage. And oh wait, what do I need to go fight right now? I fought Satan. Okay, so we're taking this. Dead cat. No. No. Not the time for that. What do I want to take? What do I want to take? I guess just give me Filthy Mind. Midas would probably be a good one, but it's just like I don't really have a whole ton. I especially, you know, like Bethany is not really the sort of character that you want to take that. Bethany's not really the sort of character that you would want to plan on taking damage with. I mean, if I had some sort of form of invincibility, maybe, but I definitely do not. Anyway, boss rush now. I could actually just teleport out of it if I wanted to with the card that I currently have right now, but I need to actually beat it to unlock stuff, so that's the plan. And besides, you do also get another item by actually finishing it. What do you got? Crack Crown, yeah. Stat booster. Stats are good. I want stats. That's one of the better trinkets that you can get in the game. I think it increases in effectiveness based on how many items you currently have. In other words, it is 100% worth getting right now. Now then, that doesn't mean that there's not like other more desirable things. If I could just get something that gives me straight up damage increase, that would probably be even better. Or like huge fire rate increase. But for right now, I'm pretty happy to see that. There we are. Yeah, it shouldn't be. Panic button. No, not the Locust of Famine. I want to keep Crackdown. All right. Cancer or Horn, basically. Yes. The Cancer Trinket, it just looks like a little teratoma, or the Curved Horn gives you Tears Up or Damage Up, respectively. That's like a +4 damage up, and I currently have 10 damage. So it would be like a 50% damage increase right now if I got like Curved Horn. Extra shots, though, always nice. Let's take a look. Broken Ankh is something, but not something I'm going to use. It'd be nice to actually know how much health I had, by the way. Just saying. Oh, well. Keep accidentally picking up all these trinkets now, though. Okay, what do you got? Mom's block actually could be interesting. It gives you random mom items in each room. And those mom items can be stuff like mom's knife, which is quite powerful. I've gotten before, too. Is something. Filthy Mine is also after spawning. We got nothing. Filthy Mine is also spawning a lot of extra friendly poops now, which is nice. Not super useful, but I mean, given the rest of the items in here, and that's not really something that was all that relevant either way. Give me that heart. Beth only has red hearts after all. Ah, don't actually want to keep using stuff here. You know, Panic Button would be a pretty interesting trinket to take. Automatically activates your active item before you take damage, but, you know, activating Mom's box before I take damage is not all that useful. Come on now. Like I said, I gotta get there before 30 minutes to get to the other boss fight. And I should be okay, but, like, you know. I want to hurry this up already if I possibly can. I don't think I have too much danger of dying right now, but, you know. Get over here. Good. Oh, I'm actually at full health right now. Can't even pick up red hearts. Good stuff. Boss rush double vision. You know, the funny thing is on the Pika run, I did go and fight Hush for some reason. I was thinking, oh, maybe I can get some more powerful. I mean, I guess I'll take the curved horn from it, but, like, let me tell you, it was not worth it. I don't know why I did that. Wishbone, more locust stuff. Especially Locust of War, probably not the best idea to get, considering those locusts explode when they hit enemies. There we go. Oh, piggy bank. Upon getting hit, spawns coins. Yeah, need that thing. All right. I can see Goat Hoof not being bad. You're pretty slow. I'm not too worried about speed, at least as of right now. Could be way worse. Anyway, I think I'm going to use the... the thing in the Emperor card in the next floor. Hey. Come on. Hey, come on, man. What do you got? Cracked dice is interesting, but that can also have the potential of just re-rolling the entire run, which is not a great thing, comparatively. That said, like, as of right now, damage is good. I got, like, flight. I don't even... Like, for Bethany, health ain't too bad. I can't really... It's hard to, you know, pick up a whole lot of extra stuff with her, after all. Tears up. Tears up. Very nice. Tears is fire rate, if you don't know. So, basically, more tears, faster firing. It has a cap, though, which is why you can't just, like, go get 1,000,000 of those at once. But, they've increased it as of Repentance, so it's not the worst thing. Alright, what else we got going on here? Pride, do not care. Forget-Me-Not or Cracked, or the Torn Card. Not a big deal, not really something I'm looking all that much for. Neither of those either. Come on, I just want big stats. Like, I'm here for the big stats, baby. Nothing else matters to me. By the way, that effect there is a room clearer. Basically, it just does like 40 damage to all enemies in the room. There was some sort of champion enemy that had that on it. You could tell because it had like a big skull over its head. Not something that was all that relevant considering I'd already killed all the other enemies anyway, so. There's the boss, though. Some fun items there, but nothing that's all that really useful. Yeah, a boss that really goes down quick due to piercing. This is what I like to see. And also Squeezy. Hey, even more tears up. And also soul hearts, which could be useful, except, like I said, Bethany can't really benefit from that. Pick up the coins. There is one more shop if I'm going for Hush, though. I could actually use those coins, but I don't care. Because we're just going to go right to the boss. Because, again, I was holding on to that card for good reason, after all. Like, the card was here so that I could go and fight the boss immediately, because I do not care. Yeah, I got like 5 minutes left. Let's go see what's in here. Nothing. Okay, let's go to Hush. Some items also go beyond the cap. Yeah, there's tears up, but there's also a stat called tears delay down, which means that you can break the cap with that and like start firing on every single frame. It's pretty silly. Nothing even that good in here. Maybe battery baby, but who cares? Hey, even more tears. Yeah, still getting tears. Kind of surprised. Latch key. 2 keys. Soul hearts. Who cares? What else we got? Analog tears. I think that's actually one of the things that breaks the tier cap, unless it looks like they changed that. But hey, now I can take out the old cursor because now I can shoot in more than just the four cardinal directions. Spoon bender, hell yeah, dude! Homing shots. Homing shots, needless to say, is good. That's a good item to get. There's also a high chance in these rooms that one of the rocks here could contain a crawl space to go into. I'm not finding it, though. All right. Rotten baby doesn't matter. And yeah, it's just like, but the thing is I don't want to lose any of my health. Like, red health is kind of important. And I don't think it's like super worth going for like taking that just for the sake of taking that. It's like it is a little bit of a DPS increase, but dark matter is fear shot, will cause enemies to like move away from you, but also gives you a +1 to damage, which is always pretty good. Rotten baby spawns flies. Whenever you lose a fly, it spawns another fly, and flies do 1.5 times your damage. That's good, but like, you know, whatever. They also home in on enemies, which is pretty great, but it is not important. It's not worth giving up health to get those. If I could get them for free, you know. All right, Hush, especially, I mean, it's like the speed is not, I have like base speed right now, but that's still enough to be able to dodge around stuff easy enough. Not super worried about it at all. The DPS is just good, but Hush has armor, so I do actually relatively little damage. Thanks, Edmund McMillan, Eggman McMuffin. Really appreciate, you know, adding in these cool mechanics where it's just like, regardless of how much damage you have, this fight's going to take a while, baby. Go make yourself a sandwich. You're going to be fighting Hush here. Still ain't dead yet, so we're doing good. This attack, as long as you can find the area where you don't get hit by stuff, you can just stand still and you'll be fine. Totally fine. Still, that one is the most scary part of any one of these attacks, since it's probably the least predictable. That said, not a big deal. I certainly have plenty of health regardless to deal with Hush's attacks, even if I do manage to get hit a couple times here. As it is, though, it's going fine. And you can see what I was talking about with like homing being super good. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, it should be good. Just when you find a safe spot, stand still. Baby. He's almost dead. Edmund hates us all. We should stop giving him money. But the game's so good! I like this game so much, though. Only stop nerfing everything. That's a problem. Especially considering they're continuing tiers. I got hit. That's okay, though. Because we're done. All right. Divine Intervention. I don't even know what that is. Because Bethany, the version of the game that Bethany came from, did not even have Hush as a fight in it. So, yeah, no. Anyway, screw all that. We're going to the Void. Everybody shut up. It's Void time. Remember the Tainted Lost run? Yeah? Hey, I'm not saying Hush is an easy fight. It is not. But it's like if you're not dying in one hit, it's a lot easier. Anyway, let's see if I can't get some good stuff. Nah. I don't know. I would go with like a little bit more defensive type of stuff in the Void comparatively, instead of like full on attack all the time trinkets. What exactly would I get? I don't know, but something. As it is, though, I'm hoping for the best here. and that I'm not going to immediately run into delirium, or I can get some sort of teleport out before that happens. Because that's what I would like to see, you know? Yeah. I saw that coming, too. Ah, well. Woohoo, PogChamp moment, yeah. Hey, it's always good to have beaten the Hush. I mean, you know how many people haven't not even done that in the entirety of Isaac? How many people haven't even been able to experience, like, the new DLC stuff? Because you've got to beat the Hush 3 times? It's like, ain't the easiest. Tainted Lost Run, though. I'm still going to say that was... well, the Tainted Lost runs, the couple of them that I did, that's some good stuff. It ain't easy being cheesy or playing as the Tainted Lost, certainly. Playing as the regular Lost at that rate, but, you know. Give me a teleport card. Give me card what which do teleport. Come on. Come on. Yeah? Oh. It's not even a good one. Yeah? No. Stopped playing before Afterbirth. Just started playing again. Gonna be a while till I can do Repentance. It depends. Depends on how well you can get used to some of the new content. But yeah, like, I think a lot of the quality of life things that were especially added in... I cannot believe how long this guy's taken. That were added in, like, Afterbirth just alone is... Wow! Awesome! Wow, everybody. I guess it does give me wisps, which is something. But, like, man... Give me a bunch of wisps. Alright, well. Well. The butterbean. Everybody's favorite item. And I don't care if you say, yeah, they made it better, though. They did not make it better enough. It's got to be way better than that, if you ask me. Ugh, fart wisps. Oh, boy. Oh, and they're only room temporary? Well... Edmund! Bradmond, Eggman McMuffin, I can't believe you do this to me. Why do you do this? Why are you always doing this to me? Still didn't get a teleport card, which is frustrating, but maybe eventually. We got butter. Hey, I like butter. But, you know, that's not really, like, super relevant to the run. We're not really quite at the point where butter is something that I can even use to any good extent. Please don't be delirium. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take anything that isn't delirium. Especially because Filthy Mind totally destroys that guy. He can't do nothing. Alright, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's something I can do with that? Curse of the shuffle around rooms. Anyway, I've been trying to do challenges. By the way, I actually have done every challenge in the game now. All of them. All of them, baby. They're all here. Took some time, I'll say that. Speed is a rough one. Good luck with Ultra Hard, though. That one, it lives up to its name. How was the random one? Which one? April Fool's or the delete this challenge? Ooh, Endless Nameless. Nah, I'm not gonna take it anyway, but still interesting. Because basically what I did to beat that one was I got an active item that would damage enemies without a charge on it, and then just spammed the space bar until I beat the game. It's like, really, I want to say that, like, the best way to go about doing that challenge is basically just take as few items as possible. And just void effects happening. That's the void, baby. That's how they do. Come on. Come on. There we go. And they drop nothing for me. Gives you infinite Isaac. Yes, Isaac and his Isaac. Lived in a small house on the Isaac. Watching Christian Isaac on the Isaac. I swear, every single one of these streams, I gotta do that bit. I like it. Red Redemption was an interesting one, though. Let's just say I did it in a non-traditional style. Because Breadman should have fixed this game if he didn't want me to do it like that. Anything of interest? No. I mean, more poops, but, you know, whatever. I don't need poops that much. All right. And just give me more. I mean, they're going to eventually probably be pretty useful when I get to, like, the actual Delirium fight, blocking a bunch of shots and all that. I don't even know what that dropped. Oh, there it is. All right. But hey, I now got, what was that, like the Chariot or something unlocked? I got quite a few, like, anti-cards. Can I just go get like a million of these guys? I guess so. Seems like it caps off at a certain amount, though. What do you got? You don't activate this floor, do you? No, probably not. Definitely not. What am I even saying? Please don't be Delirium. Ah, it's Delirium. Dang it. Fine. All right, guys, we can do this. I mean, I would have liked to have gotten some more boss items, but whatever. Like I said, it's like, you know. You got to do it, you got to do it. Red Army. Unfortunately, they're all already dead. I didn't really expect them to take too long, to last too long, to be honest, but, you know. Kind of hoped. Ooh, the slowing is kind of scary right now. Wow. Mm-hmm. It's working. It's working. Slowly. Staying on top of the pots to block some shots here more than anything else. Eventually, Delirium is going to punish me for that, but not yet. Yeah, base form, baby. The one that doesn't have a million armor. Come on. Why I always go into the heart? Or more specifically, it lives, I guess. But, you know, whatever. Splitting hairs, to say the least. All right, he's going sicko mode. Thankfully, though, once again, I do believe that it's just like, yeah, if he turns into, like, Brownie or whatever, it's like I can just get free allies, basically. Ooh, I'm starting to lose health, though. That's not great. Hey, what's that? All right. Oh, boy. I might actually die here. Oh, yeah, I did. Dang. I was working out pretty well right up until it wasn't, though. But that's like, that's how it is in the Delirium fight, where it's just like you just die. I swear to God. Yeah. At least I was able to beat Hush. Of course, Delirium would have been the better one to actually finish of the two, though. That's unfortunate. Yeah, we can do Bone Man, the Forgot Man. Actually, you know what? I should probably just like call it for tonight, and go actually get up the damn non-Isaac episode that I'm doing here. All right. Tainted Bone Man. I already did Hot Potato Challenge. It's just like, that's a thing. That was a thing. I'll say that right now. But yeah, let's just let's call it a day here. It's been going for 2 hours.